Hello everybody. Today we're gonna follow a YouTube tutorial from YouTube for a YouTube video. And by this time, if you did not notice, I still haven't figured out how to do intros for my channel. But I've figured out origami, and that's what we're gonna do now. Follow a YouTube tutorial on how to make a paper dragon. There, I've successfully made the first crease. Long way to go still to make the dragon. Beginner's advice though, if you have nails, any little amount of it, please make sure to cut them off. In this video, I have very little nails and I really found it hard to make the, you know, piece successfully. I was always concentrating enough not to tear the paper apart with my nails. It is also noteworthy that my fingertips sweat profusely whenever I get anxious or something, so I had to constantly wipe my fingertips off. So if you have the problem of your palm or finger sweating, you should also use a tissue or a cloth so that you don't moist the paper up and eventually tear it up. Not this piece, but when I started doing Rudolph the reindeer, I had to redo the whole thing twice because I I tore the paper the first two times. The third time was a charm, and I was able to complete Larry the llama instead of Rudolph the reindeer. But that being said, you should always make sure not to moist the paper up too much and tear it. Another thing to, you know, be very sure of when you're following tutorials is to make sure that you don't always pressure yourself to catch up to the, tutorials speed. I was kind of getting anxious during this video to catch up to the speed of Jo Nakashima, but I eventually realized that he was a professional and he was doing this for 7 or 8 years, and I was just getting started, and there is no way in hell that I'm gonna match up to his speed. So I actually had to slow the video down by half of its speed and still had to pause a few times. Who am I kidding? I still had to pause a lot of times to get this completed. Once I started origami, once I started practicing origami, it is really evident that why people think this is therapeutic. It really takes you off your edge for a for a for an hour or so. You really are into the paper. You don't know anything else. You aren't noticing what's going on around you. It's just it helps you increase your attention span, and I have an attention span of a wooden fucking spoon, so it really helped me increase my concentration, if anything. Having said that, it can also mean that you're going to hyper focus for an hour or so, so please make sure that you're not, exhausting yourself too much. This dragon was a fairly easier piece compared to the other ones that I've done. In fact, in Nakashima's channel, it says that this dragon is an intermediate level, and a couple of other pieces that I don't remember are actually expert level ones. So this wasn't as hard, but it was still hard for me to keep track. And every time I looked down and put a fold and I looked up, he was already 5 steps ahead of me. So I had to rewind the video a couple of times to stay in track. If you ask me though, I guess the wings were the hardest part of this piece. The tail part and the face part I did get pretty easily, but the wings were uh, both time cons- both time consuming, and it required a lot of attention to detail, which I do not have at all to any degree. So it was kind of challenging for me, and it taxed me of all my concentration and all my energy. Now, I'm not gonna lie that this process was meditative and calm and soothing. No, it was not. It was tiring, exhausting, and at, at times I even contemplated of stopping the video and moving on with my regular normal life. But I don't know, at some point in time my ego kicked in and said, "What the hell, man? You should be able to fold a piece of paper into a dragon." And so I again sat down and started doing it. I guess it did turn out pretty well, but I'm again not sure of how it compares with the original piece. I can only admire Jo Nakashima because following his tutorial itself was exhausting enough. To come up with this piece originally, to come up with this model itself, the amount of effort, the amount of concentration, and the amount of hard work it takes is tremendous. So hats off, man. Hats off to that. What up, fellers? It's been an hour since I started making the dragon. I'm taking a little break. Uh, so far, it's it's okay. All right, it's not as easy as I expected. An hour into the exercise, and I've completed 12 minutes of what Jo Nakashima has done. It's just 12 minutes of his entire video, and I've done an hour of work for it. Uh, I think we're in the last phase of it, face of the dragon. Uh, Forget it. All right, I'm not really good at making puns, but yeah, uh, we're gonna work on the face. Let's see how it goes. It is also very important that when you start out, you have a good tutorial video that to follow. Before stumbling onto Jo Nakashima's channel, I followed a tutorial, went halfway through it, only to realize that creases were coming onto the paper from nowhere. The tutorial was not complete, and the tutorial did not even have followable instructions, so I got lost in the middle of the tutorial. I had to stop it. So please make sure that you follow a credible, easy to follow tutorial. Here it is. It took us 1 hour and 15 minutes to summon this dragon from paper. It stands pretty straight, you know, looks like a dragon. And it only took us 1 hour and 15 minutes to ruin a dragon, less Game of Thrones, which took eight seasons to do that. Uh, so it officially took me an hour to do what the original video did in some 15 minutes. I'm gonna add Danny the dragon, because why not, to the collection of my rest of the animals. I'm trying to build a I'm trying to build a zoo here, and I'll keep you updated of any other animals I. Wait a minute, what the fuck is this? Okay, Shelly. So I'll keep you guys updated about what other animals I add to my zoo. And wait a minute, I can, yeah. Okay, Sam is not in the camera. Maybe now he is. See y'all in the next video. Here are my animals. Goodbye, motherfuckers. Peace out.